It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. See, I caught it. Y'all can't hear me. Y'all can now. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Check. Oh, God. Are we good now? We should be good now. Hold. What am I looking for? Okay, cool. So I was supposed to go. Usually we start at noon, but forgive me for being a little late today. First of all, I wanted to coincide with no longer being banned on TikTok, so that ended at 12:16. So I wanted to wait until 12:20, but then there was still stuff that I hadn't put in the thing, and there were a couple of videos that I was trying to search for that I didn't get, but it is what it is. It's called Live to Live for a reason. So whatever. It is what it is. We have a show. Today we'll be talking about obviously the alleged bonehead Uber driver that got arrested in California for sparking off the Pacific Palisades situation. We'll talk about peace in the Middle East, allegedly. I mean, I guess. We'll talk about this rude gubernatorial candidate who wants to be the next governor of California, but somehow can't get through an interview where she's asked some follow-up questions. Of course, we'll talk about day 8 or day 9 of the government shutdown. So yeah, we'll talk about day 9 of the government shutdown. We'll talk about Hakeem beta male Jeffries trying to buck up. It got owned in the cameras. Apparently there's something here about Candace Owens. I'm really not sure. Oh yeah, Pat. I was banned last Friday during this show. Like 16 minutes in, they banned the show, And then they never got back to me. When I appealed it, never got back to me. And then apparently they have this new thing. So like when you appeal it, it says blah 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 blah. We'll get back to you within 24 hours. And then apparently, if it takes more than 24 hours, they put a follow up under it now where they say, oh, it's taking a little bit longer than usual. And I'm like, okay. And then it just days and days and days and days and days and days. And I was like, this is just stupid. And then of course you can never get a human being like a TikTok. There's no human beings. I don't care what y'all say. Those are, even though they say those are people, they aren't people. All they do is they keep cutting and pasting the same response, cutting and pasting the same response. It's never any human. You can tell when you're talking to a human being. And it's never like cut and paste and send, cut and paste and send. There's no sort of nothing on it that gives it personality or anything. You could just like automate it, and it's annoying. And TikTok needs to stop banning people for stupid shit, and then not saying why you're banning someone, and then what was the reason? Because I went to 16 minutes into last Thursday's show, and I was like, there was nothing. There was nothing. Um, wait, was it Thursday or was it Friday show? I'm trying to remember. Um, I'm not sure. Am I live on TikTok? Can somebody go check right quick? Um, I don't know if I'm live on there. I might be a day early. In fact, I know I am a day early because I wasn't supposed to. I'm thinking today's Friday because this is the new Friday for the show. Right. So that was my fault. So, or I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to see. And of course, when I'm trying to see something, everything wants to move like molasses. Okay, yeah, I'm not live. So I'll be live tomorrow at 12, 12:16. I'll have my live privileges back tomorrow. Um, and so I conflate, I mix the days up. And so, whatever, who cares? Uh, I'm so bored. I'm so bored with all of this. But TikTok, y'all need to stop like this banning people because some fake conservative, because I know it's them, because none of my lives were going down and getting reported until these fake conservatives came back. And if you ask these monkeys what I've done to them, nothing. I've done nothing to these monkeys. But apparently, just my existence annoys them. And I don't have to retaliate because God will get you in the end. I don't have to retaliate. Now there are people in my life who want to retaliate. Oh boy. Anyway, let me move on before I say too much. So yeah, yesterday I is it going, well, hold on. Is it going to change with the sale of TikTok? I don't know. I don't know. But I know we're supposed to move over to another platform, and I don't know. Um Anyway, so yesterday I talked about Dolly Parton, and because her sister alarmed all of us by saying, "Oh, she's sick. Pray for my sister." And of course, everyone's like, "Oh," we're losing legends left and right. So we're like, "Yo, what's going on?" And so Dolly was like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute, oh, wait a minute. I'm not dead."
Hey, Natalie, bring your camera over here. I want to say something. Well, today's October the 8th, and obviously I'm here doing some commercials for the Grand Ole Opry, which is why I'm dressed kind of like a country western girl. But before I got started, I wanted to say I know lately everybody thinks that I am sicker than I am. Do I look sick to you? I'm working hard here. Anyway, I wanted to put everybody's mind at ease, those of you that seem to be real concerned, which I appreciate. And I appreciate your prayers because I'm a person of faith. I can always use the prayers for anything and
Amen.
everything. But I want you to know that I'm okay. I've got some problems, as I mentioned, back when my husband Carl was very sick. That was for a long time. And then when he passed, I didn't take care of myself. So I let a lot of things go that I should have been taken care of. So anyway, when I got around to it, the doctor said, we need to take care of this. We need to take care of that. Nothing major, but
Okay.
I did have to cancel some things so I could be closer to home, closer to Vanderbilt. where I'm kind of having a few treatments here and there. But I wanted you to know that I'm not dying. Did you see that AI picture of
Yes.
Reba and me? Oh
Yes.
Lordy. I mean, they had Reba at my deathbed, and we both look like we need to be buried. But
Jeez.
but
Jesus.
I thought, oh my Lord. But if I was really dying, I don't think Reba would be the one at my deathbed. Might come visit me earlier, but anyway, there's just a lot of rumors flying around. But I figured if you heard it from me, you'd know that I was okay. So
Amen.
anyhow, that's what I wanted to say. And I'm not ready to die yet. I don't think God is through with me, and I ain't done working. So I love
Amen.
you for caring and keep praying for me.
Viva Dolly. So Dolly is alive. Protect Dolly at all costs. We can't afford any more trauma this year. Can we just get into the 2026 with no drama and no celebrity mess, death or anything? Anyway, so I'm glad Dolly's alive. I'm sure we all are too. And yep, I love her sense of humor as well. So congratulations to one of my favorite singers, musicians, Darius Rucker. If you don't know who he is, and people claim we look alike, I don't really see it, but you know, hey, it's not the worst person I've been compared to. The Hootie and the Blowfish frontman announced his engagement to lifestyle TikToker alongside a pair of heartwarming pictures from the proposal. That's one of the pictures right there. Um, he says, "Thank you for showing me a level of happiness I have never known." Okay, so when you've been married, I don't know how many. I know he's been married at least one other time. Um, uh, so do you say that every time? Like for those who've had multiple marriages, is always happier every time? I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, so the day I met you, I knew I didn't want to go another one without you. Now I don't have to. And Emily wasn't just smiling wide in pictures shared to social media. Indeed, she gushed about her relationship with the all right singer while addressing the reason why she had not been Instagram official with him until their engagement. Well, look, y'all be lucky if y'all even know what I like. I don't know. I mean, certain public people like to share their public stuff. I'm not one of them people. Like, and I know a lot of real celebrities who don't, like their personal life is their personal life. Like if they could hold on to a little bit of it, that's great. And I get it. But congratulations to Darius Rucker and Emily. She's on another side of TikTok, so I don't know her or her content. So anyway, um, I have no clue. I was married once, not trying the second time. I've always wondered that, like the first marriage. Oh, I've never been happier. Just like, all right, second time. Oh no, I've never been happy. Just like, okay, well, when are you? Is it always the happiness just keeps going up with the marriage count? Like, I don't know. Like, work with me. Anyway, congratulations to the happy couple. Hope your nuptials are well, and hopefully this is the one that sticks. That'd be great. Candace. Now I said I don't know why Candace was on here because again I was rushing this morning, and I believe it had something to do with an insurance, and Kanye West sent her a package saying if he was ever killed or something that expose everything, and it was nefarious and expose everything, and her thoughts on Charlie Kirk, but she's been talking about Charlie Kirk ever since September 11th. So he died September 10th, and ever since September 11th, Candace has been every show's been about Charlie. Every show. And I get it. This is her buddy. This was her buddy. This is her buddy. And, obviously the powers that be, didn't want them to be friends because of her stance on Israel and Jews in the industry or whatever you want to call it. Um, but what I find funny in that is, Candace might have me coming around a little bit. I'm still in the middle, minding my business, twerking on the fence. Um, because I believe there's truth in all of this, but I also do believe there are nefarious forces in media and in the entertainment industry who implant themselves and through their money implant themselves and ingratiate themselves into entourages and people's staffs and stuff, and then they get to control that person and control the narrative and get to control what they say and do and who they can have around them and what stages they get put on and what stages they can put people on themselves. And so that is a thing in the industry, and I've never met or worked with any one of these R&B black, these are black artists, and there weren't like at least 5 Jews in the room. So I'm just saying. You can't tell me my eyes lied because I know what I saw. So it is what it is. So you say the truth, and apparently the truth is anti-Semitism, and this is the conflict that I have. The definition of anti-Semitism, to me, anti-Semitism is extreme, right? It's like racism is extreme. It's not, oh, somebody said they don't like my hair, so therefore it's racist. No, 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 no. Or somebody critiqued something about Israel, it's anti-Semitic. No, 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 no. Anti-Semitism is evil, like racism is evil. It's evil. It's disgusting. You know it when you see it, when you read it, but when you constantly call everything anti-Semitic, everything racist, you dilute the meaning. And the purpose is no longer, it doesn't have any weight, right? That's not something you should just be lackadaisy just throwing around because you don't agree with people. But, who am I? I'm just AJ. I'm AJ over here on YouTube. Minding my business. But anyway, let's hear what Candace had to say.
I do not accept, and neither do you guys, that Charlie Kirk lost his life because he really pissed off the trans lobby. It terrifies me to think that on the day that Charlie died, I got multiple phone calls from people who said that me and Tucker should lay low because we're also on the list. And they never told us who specifically told them that, by the way. Now I'm wondering why they never told us who specifically told them that. I called Tucker. I'm like, are you hearing the same thing I'm hearing? If they're saying that we're next. And now I go, was that supposed to be a threat?
Oh, no. Yeah, that was a threat. I mean, here's the thing. I do not think it was an accident that they shot Charlie in the throat. I do not believe that was an accident. That was intentional. And the symbolism in that is that even if this mofo survives this, he's never going to be able to talk again. They literally blew his vocal cords out in front of us. So that was the bigger message I think being sent in. It's also symbolic, yes, to you and to Tucker and to others. Yeah, you keep FAFO in, and you will find out as well. So yeah, I do believe it was symbolic. I do believe whoever did this was trying to send a message to those who don't tote the line, especially those on the right. And listen, there are a lot of conspiracies about whether people are getting paid and whether people are they're getting paid to be anti or pro. So they're both sides are saying the other side is getting paid for something, right? Here's the thing with all of this: you should always follow the money, because usually that'll tell you more than what people are actually saying to you. Now, I don't know who's getting paid what and from whom. I ain't got those details. I ain't that immersed and enmeshed into that world to even care or know. And I don't think I want to know. Otherwise, I could have just stayed in the entertainment industry, sold my soul, and be really rich right now, and really successful, and not have to worry about anything else, right? But no, I'm here. In the trenches, building a building, brick by brick. Anyway. Oh, God.
To me and Tucker?
Mm-hmm.
To have us watch the public execution of a friend of ours and then to call us and to say, you should lay low for a little bit because you guys, we're hearing that you guys are on a list. Was that just supposed to be a threat? Because why wouldn't you be more forthcoming with exactly who you heard that from? And I remember saying, I was like, did the feds say this? Who said this specifically? Because why aren't they calling me and Tucker? Why am I calling Tucker and telling him about this? And I did. He will tell you that. The day that Charlie Kirk was shot, this really happened. And I'm coming out of the grief stage and realizing I think that was an element of this. To send a signal, to shoot him in the throat, right? To say, we took out his voice and we will take yours out too.
I agree with that. The symbolism is it's not. whoever did that could have very easily shot him in the head or whatever, and they didn't. The throat is very symbolic, and it's damn it's a perfect kill shot too. Like the jugular went all yeah. There's no surviving that, and so yeah, I do believe that there was a message being sent there. Now, did it come from the sources she's trying to implicate passively because she's not dead on saying what she wants to say on that point? Is it the trans people? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know, we've seen an uptick in these mentally ill people running around here, you know, killing the most vulnerable amongst us because they can't handle their mental illness, and they can't handle that not everybody in life is going to hug you and love you and make you feel special. That's just life. That's life for anybody. No matter who you are, no matter how good you are, how matter how bad you are, there's always going to be a segment of haters. Um, listen, lumberjack. I'm not. I need proof. I need proof. Where's the proof? Everybody trying to implicate people, and I think Candace is putting together the puzzle, right? She's putting together the puzzle, you know, and she's gonna make some mistakes along the way. But again, this was her buddy, so she is doing her best to get to the bottom of everything. And you know, I mean, people can say what they want. She is not changed up. She has not wavered. I mean, I would like her to admit when she's been wrong in this. That would be great. That would help the process a little bit in terms of like validity. But you know, it's Candace.
And that's terrifying and that's real. And these people that we are fighting are dangerous. Okay. Do not underestimate them. They are.
They are dangerous. If these are the same people she's talking about, these are the same people that killed Michael Jackson. Yeah, I said it. Michael Jackson was never a pedophile. Michael Jackson never harmed children. Michael Jackson was weird, yes, but Michael Jackson was never a child molester and all this other stuff. That was what they did to destroy him because they knew that's the way they could get him mentally, and so they pushed that, you know. And so here's the thing: if you actually did that, he wouldn't have beat those charges. Remember, the first time he paid them off. The second time he went to court and got and was acquitted. And if they found anything nefarious in anything that they were accusing him of, it would have been done. You know, he would have been Michael Jackson would have done a stint in prison. So I'm not buying that. So anyway, it was a character assassination and ultimately took the man's life because the man couldn't even sleep naturally anymore. Could you imagine? You're that damn stressed out, you can't sleep anymore. And whatever. Let me get out of the conspiracy realm. Oh, it's not really a conspiracy. I think it's pretty evident what happened to Michael Jackson. And maybe one day we'll deep dive into that. Who knows? You know, maybe it'll be a RANT experience. Maybe we'll do that. Anyway, go
Dangerous
ahead.
and they are haughty and they are growing increasingly desperate and panicked. People that are evil in this way are not people that you want to play with, right? People are nervous. Everyone is feeling it. And that's why I decided that I don't know what's going to happen, okay? I don't know how many days I have on this planet. I do know what I'm fighting for, and I do know that this life is not it. It's not. I'm telling you guys, it's not. The people that want you to believe that it is, people that pulled you away from your faith in the first place, as I'm trying to demonstrate to you, did it because they knew they could further enslave you. They want you to be fearful of death. They want you to think it's it. They want you to think it's lights out and then everything is over and that you are not a soul, right? Because then they can get you to do things to guard what you have in this world. Follow their rules, to do things that you know are wrong because you need the money. It indoctrinates you into their.
I mean, there's really nothing to dispute there. She's correct. Yeah, it's an evil business. It's an evil business with a lot of evil people. And let's be clear, when I say Jewish, I don't mean all Jews came to the stake and said, "Yeah, kill Michael Jackson." That's not what I'm saying. So shut up. Um Yeah, but I am saying there are a lot of evil forces in the entertainment business, in media, who will have their day of reckoning. It is what it is, you know. These people will act so innocent in public and act like they were a friend of yours while at the same time stabbing you in the back and proceeding like everything's okay. That's the entertainment business in a nutshell. And you know, it is what it is. But yeah. You know, Candace is on to something. She's not gonna let up. She's like a dog with a bone, like I said yesterday. She ain't letting up. Anyway, moving on. So we are in day what? What did I say? 9? Day 9 of the government shutdown, and the Democrats have shut down the government 6 times. They've no, 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 no. All we need is 5 Democrat senators to say yes. 5, 5, 5, 5. And Chuck Schumer can get 5 senators, including himself. So now he can get 4 other senators to go. He can absolutely do that. He can absolutely do that. And they're playing politics with their lives. I went over yesterday, Hakeem Jeffries, you know, literally being a dummy, and we're about to watch him get owned. He's about to get owned by Mike Lawler, who's another congressional rep. And it was ridiculous. This whole exchange yesterday was absolutely ridiculous. And you can see who's really advocating for the right thing and who's really just performing and attacking and making ad hominems.
Did you get permission from your boss? Why don't we sign on right now? Did your boss, Donald Trump?
Did you get permission from your boss? Did you get? Oh, he's so tough. And that's what these people do. This is their leadership. But if all of us in here have talked to these people at one point or another, we've talked to them. We've heard the BS that comes out of their mouth, and everything. Usually, it's some stupid attack that has nothing to do with the conversation because he wants to deflect.
Did your boss Donald Trump give you permission? Yes, he is. No, he's not.
Donald Trump's not his boss. Just like again, these people do a lot of projecting. Hakeem Jeffries is owned by the Democrat elite. He can't waver from the script. He has no backbone. He's not an alpha. He's not a leader. He got there because he's black. He's standing there because he's black. If Hakeem Jeffries was a white man, he'd be working at Burger King right now because he don't have it. But he's been placed there because he's black. I said what I said, and I meant it. He's not there because he's the best and the brightest. He's there because he's a Negro.
By the way, so let me ask you a question. Why did you vote to shut the government down? Why did you vote to shut it down?
And you see, Lawler is sticking to the point. And that's important when you talk to these people, is to stick to the point. That's very, very important when you talk to these people, because they will try to take you over here and over there and make it personal and try to attack this angle or try to make an assumption about you, but try to make that assumption a fact. And no. Stick to the point. Why did you say no to the very thing you asked for, dummy?
For years, you always lectured about how we need to keep the government open. You're making a show.
You're making a show of this. He's see that? It's abusive. It's abuse, right? This is how these Marxists are trained. They're trained to be abusive. You know, the very thing they're doing, they'll accuse you of doing it, right? And they'll say it convincingly because they know that the people who like them are dumb. Very impressionable. Will eat you see he's in his face. He's not doing anything. Lawler is in the right. He is sticking to the script. He's like, bro, this is what we're here for. We're not here for all this other performance. You're the one performing. You literally came out the gate saying Donald Trump's my boss, attacking me from an angle that's unfounded and stupid.
No, it's sad. It's sad. You could easily sign on to this. You're embarrassing yourself right now. You could sign on to this. The only embarrassment here is you.
You're chasing clout. This nigga got clout? What clout this nigga got? Oh, Hakeem Jeffries, I'll challenge you to this. Change your mind on something. Change your mind on one thing that your owners don't want you to say. Change your mind. Change your mind on one topic. Just one. I'm not saying change your mind. Say what you really want to say on one of these topics, and then see who is actually who needs clout. who's actually playing up to somebody, who's actually owned by someone. That would be you.
You could sign on to the bill.
Let me ask you a question.
You have 4 Democrats on here. Why won't you sign on?
He's sticking to Lawler, sticking to the point.
It's a clean.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. That's what they do all the time. They do this all the time. It's like liberal bitch 101. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
For 1 year. You voted for the one.
You wanted for the one big beautiful bill. Yeah, the terrible one big beautiful bill is terrible.
No, correct?
I voted for a tax cut bill that gave the largest tax cut to Americans in history.
What the fuck does the one big beautiful bill have to do with you being a bitch in this moment? This is the stuff that I don't understand about these people. They will bring up irrelevant shit.
Voting, by the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut.
Exactly. The one big beautiful bill benefits everybody. It doesn't just benefit rich people. But apparently, if you're rich, you should get no benefits. You should just be hemorrhaging cash, and you should never be able to sustain a lifestyle.
You're embarrassing
Do you
yourself
want to
right now.
cut the standard deduction in
The
half? Is that
largest
what you
cut
wanted
to
to do?
Medicaid.
Yeah, Medicaid was cut for the monkeys you want on it. Medicaid wasn't cut for people who actually need it. See, these are the talking points. Just because something's been cut doesn't mean it's a bad thing, you fucking idiot.
In
No, we
American
voted
history,
out
you voted
waste,
for that.
fraud, and abuse, by the
You
way.
voted
Tom DiNapoli, the
for a
Democratic
permanent-
controller of New
Let
York,
me ask you a question.
pointed out that $1.2 billion
If you're
were
gonna-
wasted.
Listen, you're not going to talk. You're not going to talk to me.
You're not gonna talk to me, buddy. You're not gonna talk to me.
You're not going to talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over
non-New
me
York residents
because you don't
getting
want to
paid.
hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm
So
listening.
why
Go
don't you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
Because you
is
showed
that-
up.
is that the way to
you
talk?
showed up.
Let's be clear. If this man was this tough when the cameras weren't on, the devil have a
You
message and they
showed
would
up.
be in
And
order.
so you voted for this one
I
big
signed
ugly
on
bill.
for this. You can extend it
A
right now.
permanent extension of massive tax breaks for your billionaire donors.
So 90% of
So
Americans.
Actually, there are more billionaires who donate to Democrats than to Republicans. More billionaires contributed to Kamala Harris's campaign than Donald Trump. And it wasn't even close. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head. But the billionaires support more Democrat campaigns than Republicans.
of
So they
Americans,
can get a permanent extension.
90% of
but
Americans
working
take the
class
standard
Americans
deduction.
can't? Is that right?
The standard deduction is permanent. That's most Americans. So, why are we even talking about the one big beautiful bill right now? That's not the issue here. That's passed and that's law now. We don't care about that.
90% of Americans take the standard deduction,
Is that
right?
right?
If you had your way, the standard deduction would have been cut in half.
Yep.
That would have been a
Yep.
massive tax increase on Americans all across the country.
You're
You support
here,
that?
unfortunately.
You're
to
against
do
lifting the
the
cap on
bidding
salt?
Of your billionaire donors.
The
That's
billionaire
unfortunate.
donors lifting the
That's
cap on
correct.
salt. We put a income cap in place.
Why are you here right now?
An income
Where are the
cap.
re- where are
Well,
the rest
didn't
of
you
your
want all
Republican
Republicans
colleagues?
to be here?
Where are
I'm
the rest?
here.
Where are the rest of your Republican
You wanted
colleagues?
Republicans to be here. I'm here.
Why are you
And
here?
by the way,
What-
you can
what-
pass an ACA extension right now. Sign
your
on to this
boss-
bill.
did your boss
Sign
Donald
on
Trump-
to
That's right. Get back to the point. Get back to the point.
the bill.
Is your boss Donald Trump behind that?
HR 5145. Why don't you get on it?
Mike, is your boss Donald Trump behind that?
Why won't you get on
Because
it?
you don't work for the American people.
Oh, I do. I work
don't
for,
work for
the
the
people
people
of
of
New
the
York.
17th
I work for the
Congressional
people of my district.
Is that why you? Is that
I'm
why
here.
You got 145.
And by the way, I voted
people
for
on
a
Medicaid.
clean CR to keep the government open
Mike,
and funded.
you're-
You voted to shut it
You're
down.
embarrassing yourself right
Yeah, leader, with all due
Well, as we
respect,
would say
you're
back
the
in Britain,
one.
why you playing yourself?
You're the one
Why you
who
playing
actually
yourself with
voted
these
to shut
theatrics?
the government down.
now. Actually, you
It's
know
sad.
that's not true.
It's sad. You voted to shut the government
Listen,
down.
Do Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the President?
Right, and
correct?
you're smart enough to
Is
know
that
that you
right?
need 60 votes in the Senate,
Is
right?
that right?
Right, now he gonna play this bullshit game. If it was just a simple majority, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? Right. We already know this. It's not about a simple majority in the Senate.
Do you need 60 votes in the
Were
Senate or no?
60 votes needed to pass your one big?
Well, no. The reason why we didn't need 60 votes is because we didn't have to send any revisions back to the House. That's why. And this is why idiots vote for people like this. Because they know politically these people are ignorant. They know that these people have no idea what they're talking about, what's going on, what they need, what they don't need. They know this. That's why they do it.
reconciliation, which you did with the IRA, and boy,
60
that really reduced inflation.
Are you
did a
trying to
great job
elevate
there.
yourself because you're afraid
I'm not
you're
trying to
about
elevate
lose
myself.
re-election?
No, I'm not going to lose
Let me ask you a
re-election.
question.
You spent $42 million last cycle. You didn't do that great.
Why aren't you running for governor right now?
Because I actually enjoy this job, and I'm here to do it. And by the way, you could actually pass. You could actually pass.
You enjoy being.
How is he embarrassing himself? The only person embarrassing themselves is y'all. And when y'all get embarrassed in the midterms, I don't want to hear anything.
A subsidy right now to ensure that people don't have health care premiums going up. Why won't you support this one-year bill?
Let me ask you a question.
Tom Swazi's on it, Jared Golden,
Let me ask you a question.
Marie Blusenkamp-Perez. Are they wrong? Don Davis?
Your other boss,
are they wrong?
Your other boss, Mike Johnson, I challenged him to a debate.
Yeah.
What are we debating? It passed already. We're asking you dummies to just sign off on this Obamacare so we can get it over to the Senate. And y'all don't want it. Clearly, y'all don't care.
On the floor, did he send you?
No, I'm here on my behalf of my constituents because you shut the government down. And my constituents are suffering as a result of your ridiculous ploy because you're so afraid of Zohran Mandami. By the way, when are you endorsing him?
By the way,
do you endorse him for mayor?
First of all, are you?
Get him.
Listen, you're a complete and total embarrassment right now.
Oh, why is that? Because you don't want to answer the question?
Is this supposed to be a video for your failed re-election?
You don't want to answer the question? Do you support Zohran? By the way, did you see his statement yesterday?
Listen.
An embarrassment on October 7th blaming the Jews? You support that? Should he be the Democratic nominee for mayor?
First of all, I don't answer to you.
Should he be the Democratic mayor? Should he be the Democratic nominee for mayor?
Whatever questions I need to answer about.
Yeah, you don't want to answer because your pussy ass no. That you can't answer it. Anyway, Hakeem Jeffries is a joke. Hakeem Jeffries is a beta male who would never have amounted to shit if he wasn't black. I said what I said. All right, moving on. So this piglet is Katie Porter. And she's one of the Democrats vying for Gavin Newsom's job. And apparently she doesn't do too well in public, although she's a public figure and she's on several committees and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, let's check. Oh, hold on. Oh, there we go. Let's check out this clip of her cursing at a staffer because she walked into the shot while she was being interviewed.
You ready for stat number 2?
I am.
All right. $632, which is how much you save in fuel and maintenance costs when you replace your traditional car with an EV, with an electric vehicle. So I lease a Chevy Bolt. It is the best car that I have ever owned. I just plug it into the garage, 3-hole prong plug, and I never have to go to the gas station.
That's awesome. And $632 is real money. And I know here at UCI, we have a National Fuel Center Research Center, and they're also doing work on how to make electric vehicles affordable, including for low and moderate income people, working moms, single moms like me, people who really could benefit from an extra $632 in their pocket. And it's also not just the individual savings, but it's also the total savings for our economy. So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems.
Oh my
and the
God.
state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect.
Wow. Wow. One more time for the cheap seats. So the staffer comes into the shot to correct her because clearly she doesn't have an earpiece to hear the correction. The staffer's just trying to save her from making a stupid mistake.
Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money.
Perfect.
Okay.
Wow.
You ready for?
Wow. So yeah, a very, very nice lady we see. Now let's get to the reason why she got on the radar of the people is when she sat down with CBS and yeah, it didn't go well.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote.
So I'm not going to try to endear myself to people who may not vote for me. I don't care. I'm just going to take for granted that I'm going to get whatever I'm supposed to get.
Vote. You think you'll get 60%? Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're thinking.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
Oh my God.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't
I
think
feel
you
like
need
this
them
is
to win.
unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
Understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can.
Oh, now she's going to try to win every vote she can. Ugh. This piglet's not getting the nomination.
And what I'm saying to you is that.
Well, to those voters, okay, so you.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not.
She's going to call it. She can't handle follow-up questions. Oh my gosh. You're storming out of an interview for what? For what? What's the reason for her getting up and leaving? Because she was asked follow-up questions? She didn't like the way the question was framed. But you're a public servant, which means when you deal with the public, you're dealing with all types of personalities, all types of people. Okay.
Going to do the interview with us.
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
So now you can't ask me follow-ups. You have to stick to the page. God forbid, as a journalist, I'm trying to get the questions asked for the people, and you're trying to immerse yourself to the people so the people support you, and you're saying I can't be asked follow-up questions.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care.
Follow-ups.
I don't care. Every other candidate has answered these questions. I don't care. I don't care. Wow.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation.
I'm sorry. You're in the dirty game of politics. Pleasant and positive isn't always going to be the game here. You're going to have to face some challenging questions. If you're, you know what's so funny when people hit me up, oh, I have such and such a thing for you. I have this for you, blah, 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 blah. And then I start to ask follow-up questions. If what you're trying to get me to sell, what you're trying to get me to buy into can't hold up to a line of questioning, we're not going to work together. I'm going to ask you follow-up questions. I'm going to ask you, what is this? I'm going to ask you, I don't understand this. Explain it to me. And if you can't withstand that simple line of questioning, how the hell can you handle one of the largest economies in this country if you can't even handle a couple of follow-up questions on CBS?
You asked me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And we're
Porter,
just going to circle around.
I am an
I have
investigative
never had to do
reporter.
this.
So I'm going to sit down with an investigative reporter and think they're just supposed to hand me lollipops and Fruit Loops. This is an investigative reporter, you dummy. That's her job. If your ideas can't handle follow-up questions, why are you in this?
Forever.
You've never had to have a
end an
conversation
interview.
with
To end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader.
You're running for governor because you're a power-tripping bitch. Let's just call it what it is, right? This is not a leader. This is a tyrant. This is a terrorist. I'm sure working for her is hell, which is why I will probably never have a female boss ever again. And if I do, she's going to be on point, but it ain't never. Almost every woman who's ever been in a managerial position, ridiculous.
So I am going to make.
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience.
Wait a minute. You create the unhappy experience and then get mad when it becomes an unhappy experience. I tell you, I can't. The psychology of these damn Democrats. Oh my gosh. All you had to do when she asked the initial question, when she threw in the part, you need to win, you say, yes, it would be great if I had their votes, blah, 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 blah. You didn't have to acknowledge that part of the question. But because you're a micromanaging, seething narcissist, you have to say, well, I don't need these people to win. That's endearing. Yes, the people are going to gravitate towards that. Jesus.
And I don't want this all on camera.
I don't want to have an unhappy...
It's already on camera. What is she talking about? It's already on camera. It's not like, oh, okay, it's going to go away. It's already there. You've already made an ass of yourself. Now you can't try to simmer down now. You done set it off. They do this all the time. They come into a space, they set it off, and then as soon as somebody pushed back, or as soon as AJ calls you a monkey, I'm the drama. I'm the problem. Not the 20 times you just came in here confrontational, being mean, nasty, saying the most vile things, and I say one thing back to you. Oh, my pussy hurts. Ah. I can't stand these people.
Happy experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting is a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just on the responses to that question.
Damn, she's good. I don't know her name, but she's good.
And I've asked everybody the same follow-up question.
You put yourself in this predicament. All you had to do was answer the question. The whole point of what you're doing is to endear yourself to voters, to get them to buy in, to get them whatever I'm selling, whatever messaging I'm selling. How am I going to fix this mess called California? And it's a big mess. And it's not going to be easy. You're not going to be carried, and that's a lot to carried into the governor's mansion. That's not how that works. You're going to have to earn it, babes. But I don't know. Here's another clip of her saying pedophilia is an identity.
This allegation of groomer and pedophile, it is alleging that a person is criminal somehow and engaged in criminal acts merely because of their identity, their sexual orientation, their gender identity.
I don't even know what to say. Wait a minute. So it's like the transgender thing. We're not going to say that something's off, like something traumatic didn't happen or something's just not working where you want to have intimate relations with a child. We're just going to act like that. Okay. And then finally, here's her talking about Trump.
And so people were like, we gotta think every decision has to be made in tension with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Soon, Trump will lose or go to prison or, I don't know, have a heart attack. I'm not sure.
Wait a minute. She's sitting there at least 90 pounds overweight talking about Trump's going to have a heart attack. Has she looked in the mirror lately? And she probably has never even seen a gym. She probably hasn't worked out since high school when they forced her to. But Trump's going to have the heart attack. You know what?
I don't know what his demise is going to be, but
he's going to have a demise. You had a demise just 2 videos ago, and then the follow-up video, and now this. Your demise is happening before you even won the nomination.
He'll have his demise. And the question will still be there. Mm-hmm. Who are we as?
You're nothing. You're buffoons at this point. Democrat Party is a party of fools. It's a party of emotionalism. It's a party of manipulation. It's a party of abuse. It's a party of destruction. It's a party of despair. It's a party of violence. Yeah, it's the party of stupidity. That's what the Democrat Party has devolved into. It's the party who doesn't want to work with people. It's the party who's anti-Trump no matter what, even if it's good things that need to be done, which is the majority of the things that Trump is doing is good for the country. But we're not even going to work with him on those things because it's Trump. You people have lost your ever-loving minds. And by the time you find it, it's already too late. And it's going to be too late, right? You can't even own the violence you monkeys are running around the country committing. But, you know, it's the ICE agents, the citizens who are ICE agents who are doing their jobs, right? It's their fault. Let's dox them. Let's harass their children. Let's just go after their spouses. You people are stupid. If you vote for this pig, and I don't mean as in police officer, I mean as in she's a pig. She looks like one. She sounds like one. She squeals like one. And how the hell do people work for this woman? Ugh. Anyway, moving on. We got to get through the next 2. All right. So the alleged bonehead who set the Pacific Palisades ablaze has finally been apprehended. Take a look.
The arrest of a 29-year-old Uber driver now accused of setting the blaze that led to that horrific Palisades fire in California that killed 12 people and destroyed thousands of homes. Where he was caught, and here's our chief national correspondent, Matt Gupman.
Tonight, authorities say a 29-year-old Uber driver is responsible for the historic Palisades fire that killed 12 people, destroyed more than 6,800 homes and businesses, and burned more than 37 square miles. Authorities arresting 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht overnight.
We will prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he intentionally started this fire.
Authorities say Rinderknecht was in Pacific Palisades on New Year's Eve working as an Uber driver when he allegedly started this fire called the Lockman Fire just after midnight on January 1st. He allegedly called 911 to report it and then came back to watch the firefight. After several hours, fire authorities thought they had the Lockman Fire contained. They were wrong.
So that fire started on January 1st, and it smoldered underground for about a week until on January 7th, heavy winds caused this underground fire to surface and spread above ground, causing what became known as the Palisades Fire.
Wait a minute. I'm no scientist, you know, but doesn't fire need oxygen? And if it's underground, deprived of oxygen. Okay, I need somebody to explain that to me. Maybe there's a link that I'm not making here. Because how does a fire survive underground? I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. I don't know.
And we were there just after the Palisades fire broke out and witnessed the horror as thousands of homes quickly went up in flames.
Everything is catching fire here. Trash bins, shrubs, trees, houses. The smoke is unbearable at this point. We've just seen, 4 or 5 houses go up over the past few minutes here.
Renderdecht arrested near his current home in Melbourne, Florida. Authorities say before starting the fire, he listened to a song by a French rap artist in which the music video for the song shows the main character lighting things on fire. And among the evidence, they say they recovered this image of a city on fire that authorities say the suspect created using ChatGPT. Investigators say the evidence points to a suspect obsessed with fire.
We have evidence of that will be addressed in trial, but evil people do evil things.
And David, about 9 months after that fire, we've noticed something new here in Pacific Palisades, and that's construction. But you only get a real sense of what's going on here from above. With that drone, I want you to see that most parts of the Palisades still look like a vast dirt parking lot. Now, there are nearly 7,000 structures destroyed. New homes are being constructed in just 230 lots at this point, according to the city, as so many families continue to battle it out with their insurance companies. And as for that suspect who's accused of causing all of this, he could face up to 20 years in prison if convicted. David.
Look, I'm still trying to put together that the fire was underground, hanging out for 7 days, and then out of nowhere it was just like, oh, wind. I'm not buying that part. I'm not buying that part. Because this screamed land grab. And I've been in Pacific when I lived in LA proper. I've been up to Pacific Palisades several times. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful community. And to see it all just washed away by fire is still incredible image to me, that if I went there today, that none of the stuff that I used to see would be there anymore. All the grocery stores, all of the people, all of it's gone. But this also does not absolve the abject failure of a response from the governor and the mayor. This doesn't absolve them of how they responded to it as well, because a good chunk of this was absolutely avoidable. Absolutely avoidable. Even going back to when Trump was president the first time, he was saying, we send funds so for y'all to clear this out. What are y'all doing with the money? We send literal funds for y'all to clear this brush out. Because what happens in LA, it rains, maybe January it'll rain. And then, of course, the vegetation's like, it's raining, great. And it starts to grow. But then what happens? It stops raining, and then everything dries out and just becomes basically a city matchbook. And you're getting federal funds to clear that matchbook up before anything tragic happens. Now, we also know there was issues with the water. There was issues with getting water down from a reservoir because there were these rogue environmentalists wanted to spare a fish. Fuck that fish. Y'all have built out into an area that is a hazard. And this is why I say insurance is a scam. You're telling me that a fire came through here, took everything that I own, except my life, and now I have to fight you to get the money that I've paid you to hold on to? Insurance is a scam. And this is exactly why. Insurance companies don't want to pay you out. They just want to take your money. That's it. It's the biggest scam ever. And so I'm sure some of these people have paid insurance for decades. So they have paid probably more than they probably would have gotten out of it if there were no issues getting support. This is ridiculous. Props to them for catching this idiot, but there's some other parts that aren't being said here, and so I'm not 100% buying this. But do as you wish. Anyway, we will Dun, dun, dun. All right, we're here finally. All right, so Hamas has agreed to the first phase. This has happened before, so I'm cautiously optimistic of a peace deal, and President Trump is at the helm of it. And of course, nobody likes that because Donald Trump is supposed to be Hitler, right? Okay, cool. So I don't know too many Hitlers that's helping out the Jews and the Arabs, but I don't know. Is there a Hitler that helps the Jews and the Arab people? I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't know. Find me the Hitler that does that. But anyway, and it's a beautiful thing. And so we have the first phase of a peace deal. Um Again, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not really Gaza or pro-Israel either way. I'm not pro-government in either case. But take a look.
Joining me now is Texas Congressman Ronnie Jackson, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, as well as the doctor himself. Congressman, great to see you. Thank you for being here. Your reaction to this historic moment in time.
Well, I think this is great, Maria. I mean, this is something we've been waiting for a very long time. Make no mistake about it, this is purely because President Trump has involved himself in this. You know, this would not be possible if he had not taken the bold action and had the guts to go after the Iranian nuclear program and show the world that Iran has been neutered and undermine their proxies all over the world right now. And that's a big part of this. In addition, he involved himself in what was going on in Qatar, and he basically got the Qataris to participate in this because they need us now. And they, you know, after they were attacked or after they attacked Hamas in Qatar, when they came after the Hamas leadership there, they realized that they needed the Americans on their side. President Trump recognized this. He saw this. He used this to his advantage the same way he does with tariffs and everything else. He is a master at figuring out what people need and what they want and getting the results that he wants and he needs and what's best for the American people. This is a perfect example of that, and I'm really excited to see it. It's the first step, Maria, in what's coming next. You know, when he took over as president again this time, he wants to pick up where we left off with Middle Eastern peace. During the first administration, he had Jared Kushner over there. Now he's got Kushner and Witkoff over there again. They know the players. They're going to be responsible for picking up where we left off. This has the first step in renewing the Abraham Accords and establishing peace in the Middle East is to establish peace in Gaza, and that is necessary before anything else can happen. So this is the first step in many great things that are going to come for peace and stability in the Middle East.
Well, you're right to mention President Trump and his relationships in the Middle East, because this could not have been done without that. The president has a relationship, a friendship with the prime minister of Qatar and the leadership there and the leadership across the Middle East. It should not go unnoticed the fact that the president's first trip, his first international trip, was to the Middle East. And all of that pomp and circumstance that you saw in Saudi Arabia, in the United Arab Emirates, was all about celebrating President Trump. No doubt he was thinking about what he is going to do with that in terms of...
All right. So yes, this is about relationships. This was all strategic. This was also, you know, I'm tired of hearing people, oh, you know, yeah, they're going to let out the 38 hostages, but that's also in exchange for, I think, 2,000 some odd Palestinian prisoners. Listen, when you're negotiating, everybody has to get something, right? Everybody has to get something. So Palestinians and the Hamas or whatever can't give up all of this, and then you say, well, you're not going to get anything out of the deal. Unfortunately, we have to work with these people to protect the actual Palestinian people who they're using as human shields. Nobody likes war. No logical, sane person likes war. And as I said, when this all started, I believe October, I believe it, yeah, it really jumped off October 7th. But I don't know if the Palestinian people voted for Hamas to lead them willfully. I don't know if the majority of them did it willfully. And so you got to take that factor into consideration as well. But October 7th should have never happened. And then you wouldn't have had the response that you had. So here's the thing. You can't tell people how to respond once you attack them. And so I'm just glad we're in this first phase. I don't know if we're going to get to phase two, because remember last time we didn't get to phase two, right? We got to phase one, and then they went back to fighting. So hopefully this is the real deal. Hopefully this time we can get past the first phase and get into the next part of it. I had an article. I have no idea why it's not up here. Hold on 1 second. Duplicate. All right. Now make this replace. Share screen. Boom. All right, cool. Let's see. All right. Need to adjust this just a little bit. Free move. Oh, we move it here. I knew that. There we go. All right. Bet. All right. So this is from the BBC. What we know about the Gaza ceasefire deal after 3 days of direct negotiations in Egypt, U.S. President Donald Trump says Israel and Hamas have signed off on the first phase of the 20-point peace plan he unveiled last week. Quote, means that all hostages will be released very soon and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed upon line as the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. He posted on social media without providing further details about the first phase, with what the first phase entails. It comes 2 years and 2 days after a Hamas-led attack on southern Israel on the 7th of October 2023, in which 1,200 people were killed and 251 others taken hostage. This triggered a massive Israeli military offense, which killed more than 67,000 people. According to the territory's Hamas-run health ministry, its figures are seen as accurate by the UN and other international bodies. Israel's security cabinet will meet to approve the first phase of the plan on Thursday, after which the full cabinet will also vote on it. This is what we know. Once the agreement is approved as expected by the Israeli cabinet, a ceasefire will take place. Reports in Israeli media suggest that it will happen immediately, although a spokesperson for the Prime Minister's office said it will begin within 24 hours of the cabinet's approval. The Israeli military will withdraw to a line that will leave it in control of about 53% of the Strip. The spokesperson said, according to a map distributed by the White House last week, this is the first of 3 phases of 3 stages of Israeli withdrawal. The Israeli military said on Thursday that preparations were underway to transition to a just deployment line soon. After this, a 72-hour countdown will begin, which Hamas must release all 20 of the hostages believed to be alive. That's crazy. The return of the bodies of the 28 deceased hostages would follow, although it's not clear how long that could take. Israel would then release 250. I'm sorry, I said an astronomical number. I was incorrect. But I said, whatever. 250 Palestinian prisoners serving life sentences in Israel jails and 1,700 detainees from Gaza, a Palestinian source told the BBC. Their identities are currently unclear, but a list submitted by Hamas for the agreement was reached, including high-profile figures serving multiple life sentences for deadly attacks on Israelis. Now, see, that's where it gets a little tricky for me. But again, when you're dealing with the devil, literally, it's not going to be a seamless, perfect thing. And if it means greater peace going forward, yeah, I would need to see like phase 20 of this. Like, one of the most high-profile prisoners, I'm not going to botch that name, Marwan Barghouti, will not be released as part of the swap. I got to look him up, see what he did. According to the Israeli spokesperson, Israel will also return the bodies of 15 Gazans for the remains of each Israeli hostage, according to Trump's plan. Hundreds of lorries carrying humanitarian aid will also start entering Gaza, where a famine was confirmed by UN-backed experts in August. Trump's plan specified the load of 600 lorry loads would be delivered each day, but Palestinian sources said there would initially be a minimum of 400, with the number increasing gradually after that. So what happens next? If the first phase of Trump's 20-point plan would be followed by negotiations over the details of the later phases, but many of these points could be hard to reach an agreement on. The proposal, which you can read in full, we can read it in full here, says that if it is agreed by both sides, the war would immediately end. It says Gaza would be demilitarized, and all military terror and offensive infrastructure would be destroyed. It also says Gaza would be governed by a temporary transitional committee of Palestinian technocrats, supervised by a board of peace headed and chaired by Donald Trump and involving former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair. Governance of the Strip would eventually be handed over to the Palestinian Authority once it has been reformed. Hamas have no future role in the governance of Gaza, directly or indirectly, according to the plan. Hamas members would be offered amnesty if they committed to peace to peaceful coexistence or be provided safe passage to another country. No Palestinians would be forced to leave Gaza, and those who wish to leave would be free. Those who wish to leave free to return. Okay, I mean, look, the biggest sticking point here was the release of these Hamas prisoners in the first days. And I don't know if how do you keep peace if you're letting out the radicals is my question. Because if these people are serving life sentences, that means they've done something really egregious. And so if they're being pardoned, if you will, how do you keep the peace if you're letting out the people who are incarcerated for life? I don't know. There are a lot of questions. There's a lot of give and take here. Oh God, Jesus, lumberjack, chill out. This honestly, this whole thing, I feel like I understand why Donald Trump wants to do this, but I need him to put the same energy into the genocide of Christians around the world. That's really where I think the energy should be going. When when they pulled the stunt in Iran, I wasn't all in because I didn't know what that meant at the time, but obviously as I read into it and learned a little bit more, I understood why he did it. I still didn't agree with it. So let's be clear. There's a genocide going on, and Christians are under attack all over the world. And I feel like the United States, as a predominantly Christian nation and the most powerful nation on earth, needs to step up, because we can't keep allowing these Islamic radicals to behead and destroy and maim and kill and rape people because they pray to the true God. And I'll just put the period on the sentence there. This is the first step in a good direction. Some people are critiquing Trump, saying, oh, it's about, the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't think it's about the Nobel Peace Prize, because quite frankly, Donald Trump has earned the Nobel Peace Prize at this point, whether he got this deal done or not. Just because you don't deem the other wars he has intervened in as worthy of headlines doesn't mean that the calls for peace and the creation of peace is any less relevant. Anyway, Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you would like to support the channel, you can head on over to AJsRANTroom.com. That's AJsRANTroom.com. Please make sure you like and share and comment and subscribe and support the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is our Freedom hoodie dedicated to Charlie Kirk. So if you want to go check that out, go do that. Anyway, once again, that's AJsRANTroom.com. Another note, if you missed yesterday's show, we no longer have a Friday lunchtime rant, but the rant experience will be Friday evenings at 8 o'clock. So now we have lunchtime rant Monday through Thursday, and we have the rant experience Friday night at 8 p.m. That is the new schedule. So don't be asking me tomorrow where the show is, because we don't have one. Lunchtime rant. We'll have the rant experience tomorrow night. And appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend if I don't see y'all in the rant experience tomorrow. And I think that's all. Peace.